I've been a fan of all of the royal story for ages. And since Meghan Markle came into the royal family like a wrecking ball, I have followed many YouTubers who've been doing amazing stuff. Just talking about nonsense. And it's also been great because I've learned more about why people do things the way that they do them in the royal family. So that's all good. So after several years of my kids saying to me, why are you always watching videos about Meghan Markle? Why don't you make videos about Meghan Markle? So I thought, okay, well, she's just done that whole show on Netflix with 8 episodes and another 8 episodes from the cutting room floor that are going to come out in the autumn. So I thought, well, I'll do it. I'll make some videos about Meghan Markle. So here we are, video number 1. So I watched episode 1 of the Meghan Markle, with love, Meghan. Even the title is so syrupy sweet. And the thing is, first of all, if you're going to have a syrupy sweet title and a syrupy sweet show, you have to be someone who is syrupy sweet. So you either have to be known for being syrupy sweet, or you have to present a syrupy sweet front. What doesn't work is if you either are known for being a bully, or however you are unsweet, or you're presenting a front that's at odds with what we know about you. And that's exactly what Meghan does in this show. You know, oh, I'm gonna get you some honey, to her makeup artist, who is on the payroll, who is like, you know, this is a big contract for him. He is just a guy who has dropped lucky in his makeup career as a makeup artist and has ended up doing makeup for somebody who is globally famous. So, you know, it's in his interest to keep her sweet. And I'm sure that he's seen plenty of tears and tantrums over the years, because a makeup artist is the kind of person that you are very open with. And the fact that he is still hanging around shows that he has a high tolerance for the kind of behaviours that have seen Meghan Markle reported on both sides of the ocean as a bully. I mean, there's a whole Sussex Survivors Club of people that she's bullied. So I would say that it would be likely that he's experienced her at her worst, as well as seen her on some days when she's been at her best. I mean, the way she presents herself on screen is super sickly sweet. You know, so completely the most considerate hostess. The most, you know, she couldn't do enough for this guest coming to stay somewhere that's not her house. The whole conceit of the show, that I'm going to show you a side of myself that I haven't shown you before, a domestic side, an intimate side. And it's like, you know, people want authenticity, and they want to see where you live, how you live, you know, what have you got in your fridge, you know, what are your neighbours like? What's your view like? Have you got a backyard? Do you sit on the porch? What's the deal? What's the deal with your way of living in your home? And of course, she doesn't show us any of that. Not any of that. And it's interesting that he gives us several clues about her real home, about the fact that he stays in the cottage. So he's not even allowed in the home because he's staff. Which is exactly what I would anticipate. I'm sure it's a very nice cottage, whether it's at Mauricio Ranch or whatever the local hotel complex is, or whether it is actually a guest house on their £11 million estate, which is entirely possible. There will be several guest houses, staff accommodations, etc., which is completely normal for the super rich to have. I mean, they don't want their staff in there. They don't want to see their staff in their dressing gowns, wandering around, going to the toilet or something. So they will have guest accommodation. And, you know, she's basically sending him off with a packed lunch and instructions to take a long soak in the bath before bed, which is, it's like saying, you know, I don't want to see you until breakfast. So amuse yourself in the way that best pleases you. You know, nibble on this, sustain yourself until morning. It's the strangest thing. I mean, you know, usually people are like, you know, what are we going to do tonight? Are we going to watch a film? Maybe we'll go out for a drink. I might make dinner, and, you know, we'll sink a bottle of wine and talk about the old days. You know, whatever it is. But usually you have a plan. I mean, like, I'm disabled and I go to bed like stupidly early. So it's quite normal for me to just say, right, that's it, I'm off. I'm going to bed. But a normal, healthy person in their 30s, 40s, is not going to do that. That's not a normal thing to do. I mean, I suppose, you know, it is nice to get to go away somewhere and just sit and read a book on your own, you know? I mean, the place is amazing. California is an incredible place to live. Just sitting outside, you could be, you know, entertained. But normally there's a conversation about that. It's very, very strange to me to be like the hostess with the mostess and then give your guest food to sustain you until morning and an activity for you to do in your guest cottage. Like, I don't want to see you again in the main house until tomorrow morning. Wow. Just crazy. So, yeah, the episode. So she talks about her bees. She says she's had bees for a year, but she still needs the bee guy to come and show her what to do. She still doesn't know what to do with the bees. I can believe it. I mean, if I had the kind of money that she has, would I ever get rid of the bee guy? Yes, I would, because I'd prefer to do it myself. But would she ever get rid of the bee guy? No, of course not. She's not going to risk getting a sting or even getting a, you know, a slightly uncomfortable feeling of being scared by the bees. Not when she's got, you know, oh, you can do it for me. Oh, I've got to do something that scares me every day. If you did something that scared you every day, you wouldn't be scared anymore, because that's how we conquer our fears. You know, the fact that you stand there and allow yourself to be scared by something the other guy is doing, that's not helping you conquer that fear. Anyway, I love bees. I think bees are magical. They are amazing, and I'm all for it. You know, have bees, make honey. I would love to have space so that I could have bees and try beekeeping. I love it. I even love watching like TikToks of people who are beekeepers. Fascinating. I love nature generally. I don't get any sense from her that she loves nature. I mean, she talks about blooms from the garden, and she talks about edible stuff. In this episode, she's eating lemons from the garden, raspberries from the garden. She's also eating lemon verbena leaves from, presuming from the garden. She's picked that lemon verbena in the garden. Great. You know, that's a fantastic idea. If you can grow stuff that you can eat, brilliant. It's got to be healthy and good for you, and fantastic. Lowest amount of food miles you could possibly have. But there's no you'd think in episode 1 there'd be a little, just not a huge amount, but you'd think there'd be a little discussion about you know, when you're picking stuff in your garden, It's perfectly safe to eat if you wash it. You know, make sure you do this. You know, I always make sure that I wash my vegetables when they come in from the garden, because there are risks of diseases like toxoplasmosis if you don't wash your vegetables from the garden. And there's none of that. It's just like, it's just present, because we know she's got staff that harvest stuff from the garden. She's got staff that wash her vegetables. She doesn't do any of this herself. So again, you know, it fails the smell test. It's not authentic. And, you know, you don't see her in the garden identifying which flowers and plants she can pick to either put in a vase to display or to use to decorate her cake. None of that, because that's just presented as a fait accompli, which, you know, we know she's not doing any of that stuff. But, you know, there we go. Okay, now I'm going to talk about her fashion. She loves a blousy blouse, doesn't she? She's a blousy lady. The shirts that she wears are at least 3 sizes larger than the shorts that she wears. And the shorts that she wears, she looks like a couple of floor lamps with like a really big lampshade and a really thin stalk hanging down, because she's got these legs that are like string with knots in. And you know, having shorts that are so huge in relation to your legs just emphasizes it. I don't understand why you would dress that way with that body. Like, it's unusual. It's unusual that a woman is so I mean, she's 40, how many, 43, 47, I don't know. She's well in her 40s. And by that time, we've usually got more of an idea about what suits us and what doesn't suit us. So even though we're all dealing with different bodies, we've all got our own like fashion challenges. We've all made disastrous choices at some point in our lives, I'm sure. But like, why would you wear that? And like the shirt, you know, why would you choose a blousy shirt tucked into something that's pulled up to as far as it can go? Yeah, and the legs are gaping, and she's not wearing any shoes. Rule 1 of being in a kitchen is wear something on your feet. You could drop a knife, you could drop hot water, there are lots of things that can injure you in kitchens. It's the most common place in the home for a domestic accident to occur, and a lot of that can be managed by wearing good footwear. You know, you're not going to fall over your feet. If something drops on your foot, you're slightly protected. You know, it's basic health and safety. Oh, I'm just going to float around in my bare feet while I transport this candle wax at very ridiculously hot temperatures from this pan to this small container. It is bizarre. It is bizarre to do that with legs and legs and legs on display, and then bare feet. And she's got huge flippers. She's a very unusual lady, you know, in terms of her personal shape. Nothing wrong with that. We're all unique, but like, when she goes barefoot like this, it just makes me think, did they not have any shoes in large sizes that day when you went to the shops? Because, like, you know, she's got an outfit every day that's like brand new, and like she wears these clothes that are worth thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. She's wearing jewelry that is like heirloom pieces that she wears just to bake a cake in. She doesn't take a ring off or a watch. The whole thing is just ridiculous. But then she's wearing no shoes like a hobo. I mean, you know, there are loads of things that can get you in a garden. If you walk it, I saw her in the show. She goes out the door and she walks across a path into the garden. And then she goes and sits and she looks at this, you know, amazing mountain range with Daniel. I mean, the big star of the show is Montecito because it just looks amazing. You can see why all these incredibly rich and famous people live there. But like, you know, there are ticks and like worms and parasites and things that can get you if you go out barefoot. I mean, she lives near the coast. I could understand it if you're going to the beach and you're going to walk on the beach barefoot. Great. I can also understand it if you've decided that for your health, you know, for your, I don't know, for your back strength or some crazy, you know, not crazy, but some slightly kind of earthy idea, you're going to walk barefoot around your grounds, your extensive grounds. But anybody that's actually walking any distance on an estate is going to wear footwear that protects them from brambles and thistles and monsters and slugs and things that could hurt you. You know, why would you just walk barefoot in the middle of it all? I don't understand it. Like, don't you have shoes that everybody that gardens have that are at the back door? And they're usually like cloggy type things or small wellies, and you just slip them on whenever you're going to go out in the garden to muck about. You know, like everybody that gardens has those. People that have chickens have a pair of shoes that are just specifically for going to do the chickens in, because they're going to get chicken shit on them, and you don't want to wear the same shoes to go do chickens. I mean, that is in a future episode, so I'm not going to get ahead of myself here, but I'm going to go out on a limb and suggest that she probably has no concern for the fact that her shoes might get chicken shit on. She probably has a specific member of staff whose job is entirely based around removal of chicken shit from those shoes. It's just crazy. The whole thing is nuts. And, you know, the thing is, she got millions of dollars for this tripe. So, you know, well, I've watched it, haven't I? I'm going to see if I can watch some more. I don't know why. I'm a glutton for bloody punishment, aren't I? But anyway, maybe someone will see this and enjoy it. I hope so. It was quite fun to make, actually. I might make some more videos on other episodes that I watch and bang them up on a YouTube channel. Why not? So if you did enjoy it, then that's great. Why don't you subscribe? I might make another video and stick that up. You could always give it a like. You could always tell someone about it or share the video. That would be great. This is my first video though, so, you know, let's set our expectations at a reasonable level. Okay, this is Claire signing off. Thanks for watching. See you again soon. Bye.